I think we should start. We don't have much time. I will take around 30 minutes. So, let's start with today's online session. Uh, this is about the scholarship and admission guidelines at the Jeju National University, South Korea. Introducing myself, I am Shinawar Ali Khan, and I am PG scholar at Jeju National University, and I'm also the global ambassador at Jeju National University. So the purpose of this session is to inform you people about how to get scholarships, especially at this university, and what are different departments, and furthermore. So in this presentation, in this session, I will cover about the introduction part, and how to, what is the admission procedure, what are the available scholarships, and what are the on-campus facilities, and then different asked questions, mostly by you guys. So at first, this university, it was founded in 1952, and it is located in the Jeju Island. This is the biggest island of the South Korea. Let's talk about the history of this Jeju Island. It came into being as a result of a massive volcanic eruption that occurred around 2 million years ago. So the Jeju Island is also considered as the eighth natural wonder of the world, and it is also the UNESCO Natural Heritage Site. The population of this island, it's about 700,000. It was in last April 2020. And about the JNU, the Jeju National University has approximately around 23,000 students, and the number of international students is around 2,000. So this is the satellite view of the Jeju Island. In the center, you can see the mountain Halasan. It's very famous. Those who live in the South Korea, they know about the mountain Halasan. It is the highest mountain in the South Korea. And about the Jeju Island, it is one of the biggest tourist attraction in the South Korea, and also the tourists from all over the world, they visit this island. This is the images of Sunrise Peak, that's in the waterfalls, and this is the JNU campus during these snowfall days. So these images of student dormitory, and so this winter, the snowfall was very heavy around. So the campus was fully covered with the snow. This is also another image. So I was talking about the mountain Halasan. So this is around 2,000 meters above from the sea level. So if you look at the back, you can see the city. We people have different religious and cultural activities at the Jeju Island in this Jeju National University. So these images are from the Ramadan and normal Friday prayer and other prayers. There are also different events that are organized by our university students, and we also have a lot of city tours. So these are the visuals from those. So now let's talk about the faculties of the Jeju National University. We have the Humanities and Social Sciences Department. Then in the university we have natural sciences and engineering departments, arts and physical education, medical sciences, interdisciplinary sciences. So if you look at all of the Korean universities, almost majority of them have all of these faculties. And we mostly, the Pakistanis, they usually target the engineering departments and somehow the medical and other departments, but majority of them target engineering departments. So I will focus on that in this session. So let's talk about the admission procedure. In the JJ National University, the admissions, they are open 4 times a year. That there are 2 intakes, fall and the spring. So for every intake, the admissions open 2 times. So in total, there are admissions open for the 4 times in a year. And these admissions are usually advertised on the university website. You will not see any information on social media or anywhere else. So these are only advertised on the university website. So you can find the relevant information over there. So for the graduate students, mostly in Korea, the major number of students that come to study here are for graduate studies. Very little number of undergraduate students come here. So so my major focus will be the admission procedures for the graduate students. So there are 2 processes. One is via university domain, and another is via professor recommendation. So if we talk about the admission through university domain, so students have to apply directly to the university, and university assess their application, their documents, and then they proceed with that. But that is a little complicated and there are less chances to have admission through that channel. And the most safest and most recommended channel is via professor recommendation. So I will talk about that in the coming slides. So most of the students, they ask the question that how they find the relevant professor, relevant supervisor, which is most closest to their research expertise or research field. So number 1 is the Google. You can Google your research area related supervisors at the universities. Secondly, you can target the university websites in the South Korea. So all the university websites, they have the supervisors' information in the relevant department sections. So you can check over there. The lab information is given over there. In addition, ResearchGate, you can use. If you study different research articles, you will find that this research article is relevant to my research area, and this particular professor is working on this area. So you can contact that professor and ask him that I worked on this area and I have expertise on this area, so I wanna join your lab, etc. Other method is using it through Google Scholar. Then through international conferences, the Jeju Island is such a venue where most number of conferences are held every year. So unfortunately, in the recent past year, because of the COVID, we can't have much conferences. But the students living in the South Korean, studying at South Korean university, they know that almost every other conference is being held at the Jeju Island. So if you visit, or if you are submitting your articles or your for the international conferences, so you can also have the contacts with different professors. You can show them their work at the conference venue, and you can develop the links over there. And the last but not the least, if you have in your contact list some graduate students who are already enrolled in some some of Korean universities. So they will guide you about if there is some position available for the in their lab or in any nearby lab, or if there is some professor who is looking for some new students. So you can ask your your those friends who are already enrolled in some graduate programs of the South Korean universities. And if I talk about our university, so you can ask me, or if you have some other friends, so we will guide you about if there are any opportunities available in our university about that, like that. So the departments where already there are some Pakistani or foreign students already studying. Why I'm mentioning this thing, because those who know about the Korean professors, if they already have some Pakistani or foreign students, so it is easy for the newcoming students to adjust in their lab, because those professors, they know about the psyche of the foreign students, and they deal better with in that case. If there are no foreign students in that lab, there are only Korean students. So it is a little bit hard for the newcoming student to adjust in that lab, but this is not always the case. So we have mechatronics department in engineering faculty. Then we have mechanical, computer, electronics, chemical. So unfortunately, we don't have civil department, and we also don't have a material science department, but we have these departments in engineering. There are other as well, but I am mentioning the most targeted faculties by the students. Then we also have medical sciences, the College of Medicine, the College of Biotechnology. We do have some Pakistani students in these departments. So you guys can reach out to those students, and they will guide you about that, or you can also ask me. Then we have Ocean Science department, and then we have the language schools, the Korean language and literature, and the English language and literature. Mostly the KGSP scholars, they do come in our university for 1 year, 1 year language course before they start their program at their respective universities. So research laboratories at our university. So now let's talk about the scholarships. I hope that all of you guys who are participating in this online session, they may have heard of the Korean government scholarship. So this is a very highly competitive scholarship, and most of the students with a high GPA and high score in their bachelor studies or master studies, they secure this scholarship. So I will recommend you, if you have high GPA, for example, 3.5 plus, so you should go for it. Otherwise, I think maybe it is the waste of time for you. Then we have the university scholarships. The most famous scholarship in the university or in Korean universities is the Brain Korea scholarship. So recently, this year, our university was granted this Brain Korea scholarship for the next 5 to 7 years. So the students who want to join Jeju National University, this is a golden opportunity, because professors do have massive funding right now, and I think they will accept a huge number of students. Not huge, I mean plenty of students in the coming semesters. So I think this is the best opportunity. So this scholarship is only offered when you get admission through professor channel, or after the acceptance of professor, or if professor recommends you for the admission. Then we have HEC scholarships. So unfortunately, we do not have any HEC scholar in our university. But in Korea, like SKKU or KAIST or Seoul National University, so these universities do have HEC scholars. So HEC fund them, and if some student have HEC funding, so he can get admission in very easily in any of the respective field. So professor scholarship, it is similar to university. I mean, mostly professors They they hire students on the Brain Korea scholarship, or sometimes they have their own projects, so they will fund you using that. So, and I will elaborate this little bit more. Almost 90% or above 80% students who come to Korea from Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, or other countries like Vietnam or Nepal or etc. So these students, they come here on the professor scholarship. So if you have a good profile, if you have an excellent CV, you should approach the respective professors, and if they give you acceptance, then you can proceed for the admission. So now I will talk about the scholarships that our university provides when you get enrolled in the university. I mean, after securing acceptance from professor or by any other mean. So when you get enrolled, then university has some scholarship offers for you. International student. This is I took this page from the university official graduate school book. So this is most authentic information. International students with the D2 student type, D2 visa type. So before looking here, let's have a look here. There are university have categorized the scholarship types into A, B, C, D. So if they give A type scholarship, it means they will give the 100% tuition fee waiver. And if they give B, then they will give 80% tuition fee waiver. And similarly, 50, 40, and 20, and then. So these A, B, C, D, E, 4 types of university has categorized scholarships into 5 different categories: 100, 80, 50, 40, and 20%. So the criteria for the selection and the grant is the student must be D2 type visa holder, and if the student is enrolled, if your student is studying in the lab where there are about 5 students already, so that supervisor can have 1 A-rated student. So if there are 5 or more than 5 students in that laboratory, so that supervisor, he can have 2 A-rated students. It means he can have 100% tuition fee waiver for his 2 students. So additional criteria is the GPA of 3.7 out of 4.3. So and you do not need to worry about when for the first semester, because they do not count the first semester student. In the first semester they will give you scholarship, and after in the start of second semester they will look at your GPA that you scored in the first semester. So you must have the GPA of 3.7 out of 4.3. So maybe you guys may be thinking that this GPA is very high, but in most of the universities in South Korea, it's not a big deal to score a heavy GPA. You can get this kind of score very easily. So only you need to focus on your number of publications. So those students were not financially granted by the academic supervisor, and they have the GPA 3.7. So then these students may get the E-type scholarship. So this is only about the tuition fee waiver, and about as you mentioned earlier that about stipend and about your monthly salary. You must your professor will give it to you from this project funding or from the Brain Korea BK scholarship. So then there are plenty of other plenty of other financial support to the students by the university. So if you are attending some international conference, some seminar, some meeting, which are held outside of the Jeju Island. So in that case, the university will support you for your for your for your these business trips, for international conferences, or for these seminars. So university will cover your travel expenses. So if in case you are gonna attend the conference that is held outside of the Jeju Island or outside of the Korea, so and they will, for domestic events, I mean for international conferences held inside the South Korea, they will give you about 150,000 won, which is approximately $150, and 100,000 won for the quarter, $100 for the quarters. And if you're participating in conference that is held outside the South Korea, so university will support you about, up to around 500,000 won, which is approximately $500. And in case of co-authors, not if you're not the first author, if you're the co-author, the university will support you about $300, 300,000 won. And this period will be considered from March to the January next year, and the period of expense from April to February next year. So this is, I mean, you will have to submit some necessary documents. For example, your accepted notification of the manuscript in the conference, and your tickets and other necessary documents. So university will guide you about that. So we have a very short time, so I will try to summarize and wind up. So this is also a very important slide. If you have publications during your master's or PhD, so university will give you a handsome amount. If you have around, if you publish in Nature, Science, or Cell, or in the paper in the journals which impact factor over 20, so university will pay you around $1,000. And if you publish in over JC or 10%, the university will pay you 300, 250, and you can see in the slide. So this paper must be published from the September 1st, because this is from the new announced policy of the Brain Korea Scholarship. So let's talk about the on-campus facilities. University do have central library. We have Jeju Public Health Center. You can have your examination free of cost from Jeju Public Health Center. Then we have Foreign Language Institute. Also, there is an international students kitchen, because most of the Pakistani students, when they come here, they face the difficulty of food. So, and very less number of universities in South Korea, they do provide international kitchen. So Jeju University is one of those universities who has given separate kitchen to international students, where they can cook and they can manage their food easily. Then we have University Museum, and there's also Jeju International Student Organization, where you can participate in different events and in different competitions, and you can be a kind of social, very social. So we guys have a beautiful sports ground, and if you are a Pakistani, and you will definitely like cricket, and we guys here love playing cricket. Then different universities do provide to participate in different competitions which are held inside the university. So this is there's an International Students Day in every semester. So you can see we have International Food Festival and different other type of festival. So these kind of festivals are organized for the active participation of international students. Then, as I said earlier, the Jeju University campus is a very beautiful, and we have the cherry blossoms in the March, in the spring season. This is the image of Center of International Affairs office. And we do have a very helping international community. So this is the group photos of Pakistani community. So if some student join our university, and we do support our new coming students with all necessary support, necessary guidance regarding immigration, regarding anything. So don't hesitate to contact your seniors. So before ending this session, I will highlight some important instructions. If you first get your documents ready before applying, then make a good resume, attractive CV, which can convince professor. And if you're applying for PhD, try to have some good publication. It will help you for securing admission. And also write a good email to professor, which can put a good impression on that professor, and he can be agree to take you as a student. And then after getting acceptance, apply for admission in university. And after receiving your admission certificate, apply for the visa. And if you get the visa, you will have to fly to Korea. So we have very short time. There are some frequently asked questions. So is IELTS mandatory for university application? Yes, IELTS is mandatory. You must have around 6 bands or 6 bands, yeah. But some universities of Saudi Arabia, they require 6.5 band. And nowadays, IELTS is mandatory for the visa application also. So you must have at least 6 bands or 6.5 bands in the IELTS. If we talk about the living cost on the Jeju Island, it is around $300, and food cost is around $200 to $300 per month. And it is very easy to adjust in the environment here. And definitely, this is one of the best tourist attraction site, Jeju Island, in all over the world. And most of tourists, they do visit from Malaysia, Japan, Middle East countries, and Central Asian countries. So from Europe and also America. So you will love living here, and you will definitely enjoy the nature and the life over here. And most students ask about how much money they can save per month. So I will answer it like, if you're getting stipend of around $1,000, so I think you can save around $400 to $500 if you're living alone. I mean, if you don't have family. So if you are getting, your monthly expense will be around $500 to $600, and the rest of the money you can save. So it's up to you. So that's all from today's online session. So I have around 5 to 7 minutes. So you guys can ask me if you have any question. Otherwise, I will close and end this meeting. Thank you for your attention and listening to this session. Now, please ask if you have some question.
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam.
Sir, I wanted to ask that do you apply to universities in case of a university scholarship? Do you apply to universities separately and then you apply for a scholarship, or is it automatically applied when you apply for the university?
So if you are applying through professor recommendation, so it is automatically applied. Professor will pay you the salary and stipend. So university has nothing to do with it.
Do you get to know about the professor's scholarship before the admission, or you have to go there and then you get to know that whether the professor will pay you or not?
No, you have to ask your professor before applying. You have to make sure that your professor is giving you the stipend, the necessary cost for living and for other expenses. Yes.
And in case of the university scholarship, do you ask the university the same question, that whether I will get a scholarship or not?
Actually, I mentioned about the KGSP scholarship. So this is from the Korean government. So you don't need to worry about any funding or any problem, because the Korean government will pay you for all of your expenses. And I also mentioned about some scholarships which are given to you when you get enrolled. So when you get enrolled after admission, then university will give you some scholarships. So I mean, that are those scholarship after enrollment, not before enrollment.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
And sir, one more question.
Yes.
How much does your publication help when you're applying for master's degree? If your name is like third or fourth name in the publication.
I think if you're applying for master's, then you don't need to be worried about some publication. If you do have, then it is a plus point, but it is kind of, you don't need to have any such publication. If you do have, then it will be helpful. But it's kind of not a kind of mandatory thing. Mostly, if you're applying for PhD, then you should have some publications. But for masters, it is not necessary.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam.
Sir, my question is, what kind of major subjects in agriculture subjects are you offering in this university?
Yes, we in our university we do have the biotechnology department and College of Medicine and the College of Life Sciences. So I think if you visit the university website, you will have the better idea. Because my field is engineering, so I cannot say exactly, but I think.
So I am basically done with MPhil agriculture, soil science major. Then can you guide me for further? I am applying PhD
Okay.
in agriculture science.
Okay. Later on, you can reach out to me, and I will help you about that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Anybody else?
Sir, one more question.
Yes, please.
For a scope of a civil engineer, how do you think is the job market after you do the degree in South Korea?
From civil engineer, you mean?
Yes, sir. For example, I, being a Pakistani, when I come to South Korea and do my master's there, how much feasible it is for me to do a job there as well?
Actually, one thing you have to keep in mind when you come to Korea for your studies, for getting job, I think if you have the language, Korean language, so it will be helpful. Otherwise, I think you will have to struggle a lot to secure a job. But it's kind of, I mean, if you have very good profile, so you can secure a job. But I think if you come here, you do need to have some little bit knowledge of Korean language. So if you do have Korean language knowledge, so your chances are 90% plus, 90% above to secure a job. So, but if particularly you ask about civil engineering, so I think some civil engineer can respond to your question betterly, because my background is from electronics, and about electronics, I can assure that you can get a job very easily if you have the good profile, because Samsung Electronics and because Korea is the hub of electronics. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. So anybody else have any question, he can ask freely. So I think nobody has any other questions. So thanks guys for your attention and for this participation in this session. So you guys can contact me personally later on if you have any other query, or if you're applying for the admission in the South Korean university, or particularly in our university. and I do have a YouTube channel, and you do have a Facebook page, and you can reach out to me. So thanks for your attention, and have a good night.
So please, can you give me Q&A box and email address? Your
Okay. Okay. Can you please send me a message to my Facebook, so I will give you.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you everybody for your attention, and goodbye.